DSP is a guy with 15 years worth of a backlog, and the more you dive into the Snortex, the more weird stuff you're going to find out about this guy and some of the weirdest shit he's done throughout his online career as a content creator. And that's content creator in quotes, because this would be a C-grade content for effort. From reviewing fast food, poorly, the cup noodle video, the incident on May 1st, which I'm certain most of you already know about, and all the way to the current gimmicks of tip goals where he'll just wear gunner glasses, hats, and on a good stream, a new vest. Today though, I'm going to go through a special saga that didn't really last that long, but dumb enough to mention. That's the fishing lures. And no, I'm not joking. This new scheme to get viewers money all came out of the game that Phil was playing, called Bassmaster 2022, a fishing simulator. This was on Xbox Game Pass at the time, and as we know, Phil loves Xbox Game Pass, mainly due to the fact that whatever game he picks, there's a chance of him getting 100% profit worth of tips during his streams. He doesn't even have to like the game as long as he knows he'll get some money out of it. Phil got this bright idea to add a new hat to the hat goal, which was the fishing hat. Then he thought to add something extra, something more shiny.
Sunday night bites, Bassmaster 2022, and tomorrow I'll be going to look for fishing lures. So if we hit the $100 goal on that stream, I'll put on the fisherman's hat and add a new lure to it for, cool variety interactive purposes.
Bill decided to go out of his way during his day off to look for those lures. He took a detour down to Dick's Sporting Goods. This was all said in his day off segment. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the original video of him complaining about it for some reason. I guess it's gone. Basically, he wasn't able to find them and didn't bother to go to a specialist shop for fishing. So instead, here's a clip from Duty Streams that highlights his frustration with the sporting store.
Yesterday was my day off, and while I was out and about running my errands and doing my usual things, I said, I'll go look for fishing lures. So, thinking about the different places to go to look for fishing lures, what's the first place you would think of to go to? Probably a sporting goods shop, right? They've got basketball. Okay, let's keep going. Head further to the back, golf. They have a whole golf section, golf clubs, golf accessories. Okay, head further to the back. Workout section, weights, stretchy bands, yoga mats, things like that. All right. Let's curve around the edge here. So I curve around the back. The entire back of it is shoes, sneakers, fine, hiking boots. Keep going. Back corner is canoeing and outdoorsman-like stuff. So we're getting there. We're almost there. They've got canoe paddles. They've got canoes. They've got flotation devices, right? They've got outdoor camping stuff. So a whole bunch of tents. Like, what, did I miss it? How could I? Let me go back. So I go back. I'm in the outdoorsman section now, right? Basically what they have is a bunch of survival gear, but I'm also noticing there's nothing here for hunting at all, and there's nothing here for fishing at all. What gives? So I grab a store associate and I say, hey, where's your fishing stuff? And they smile and said, we haven't had that in years.
After his frustration, Phil went to the one online store that he likes the best. That was Amazon.
In the last few weeks, we started a special event that I do every Sunday night. It's called Sunday Night Bites. This is where we do fishing in Bassmaster Fishing 2022. Well, we had an idea that if I do hit the goal of the hat goal, which is $100 of tips on a given night, what I will do is put on my fishing hat that I actually have here. Okay? And every week, if we hit the goal, we can add a new fishing lure to the hat. Well, this week I went out to find lures, and guess what happened? No one had them. I went to Dick's Sporting Goods. I went to Target. I went to, I went to a few places, and guys fell. No one had any fishing accessories. Now, I wanted to have something for you guys for tomorrow night, so I rushed, and I went on Amazon, and I bought a set of lures. I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to show you. What I'm going to show you transparent through the bottom what they are. Okay? There's a lot of lures in this box. So tomorrow night, when we do Sunday Night Bites, we have a lot of options to add to the hat. Okay? So there you go. And we'll explore this tomorrow. But I want to give you guys a little bit of a preview. They're not necessarily nice lures. They're cheap. It was a cheap set I bought off Amazon. What I would like to do eventually is maybe find a Bass Pro Shops in my area or another outdoorsy store that has that kind of stuff and hand pick some nice ones. But for now, we're going to go with this variety. Okay?
Phil continues to play Bassmaster 2022 in hopes to dangle the shotties a bit more, just for some easy money.
Guys, I'd just like to remind you, with about 45 minutes left on the stream. Alright, this is the first week where we have fishing lures eligible to be added to the hat. I'll show you another one. Look at this fish. I figure I should take them all out of their protective wraps. We get $100 in tips tonight. We get the fisherman's hat, and we get to add our first fishing lure to the hat, okay? But we're running out of time to do so. It would be kind of silly to hit that at the very end of the stream when there's no time for me to wear the hat. Look at this one. This is actually the nicest one so far. Wow, you can see through it. It's translucent green. It's got a ball that rolls back and forth inside of it. Do you see that?
Seriously, Phil, you might as well be dangling keys to your viewers and it will get the same results.
Yeah. It's green on top, yellow on the bottom. It's got one of these things on the mouth. I don't know what that is. That's a cool one. And 2 hooks. It's a really nice one. Jiggles around. Hear it? There you go. All right. It's another cool fish one. Jade says, what is the hat streak? The hat streak is that every week we hit the $100 tips goal and I bring out the fishing hat and we add a new lure. That's the streak. So right now we're at 2. The last 2 weeks we've done that. We added the frog and then we added that long, I think it was actually called the gotcha lure. Har, 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 right? So that's what we added last week.
Over time, Phil got frustrated with his viewers. They were tipping him through his super chats and not his PayPal account, which is what he mainly uses for his mobile gambling addiction.
Tonight's late stream was Sunday Night Bites, my Bassmaster 2022 weekly fishing stream. Had a good time. Lots of interaction with the audience. The whole first half of the stream was almost a dud fishing. Couldn't really catch much. By the second half, I was finally catching and having streaks of fish that I was catching, so it ended up being a lot more entertaining. But the conversation was great. Once again, we have this weird thing going on. Seems like when I play Bassmaster, a ton of super chats come in. We had a ridiculous amount of super chats tonight. It was great. I really appreciated it. But again, the goal that I'm going for when I do Bassmaster is to hit $100 in tips, to have a fisherman's hat that we add a lure to every time we hit this, and then I put it on, and again, we didn't hit it. I think we were close, though. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I think we were still at like $75 in tips, which is still really, really good, all right? But it's so weird to me that we have an incentivized special goal for tips on Bassmaster streams, yet we seem to hit super chats rather than tips. It's very odd.
This really became a new style of beg for Phil, mentioning the hat and hitting to only tip through PayPal. The scheme didn't really seem to catch on the way he wanted to, but that didn't stop him from begging.
If we hit the $100 tips goal on the stream, I will put on the fisherman's hat, which already has 2 fishing lures that you guys selected, and we will add a third out of the wide variety of ones that I now have to keep it going. Last week, sadly, we didn't hit it. I think last week, I'm trying to remember, last week was so weird because we hit like a ridiculous amount of super chats, which usually doesn't happen. We had like a ton of super chats, and it was just like disproportionate to what would normally be expected on a stream.
And more begging.
That was another thing, like the interest for these Sunday Night Bite streams has waned a lot. Right now we have around 200 people on the stream. When we started, we used to have 400 or 500.
Yeah, maybe because they realized that you're not a good streamer?
Actually, at the beginning of this. And basically people got kind of bored of it as well. But if we hit $100 in tips, you guys will vote on the remaining fishing lures that we have. And the cool thing about this is it will be immortalized on that hat, because that hat will now become a hat that is eligible to be worn on other gameplay streams moving forward.
Where's the hat now, Phil? Show me the hats.
For hitting that funding goal, it'll be in the running in the polls. Previously, you know, that hat was only for Sunday Night Bites, but now it'll be for everything.
Okay, I think you get the idea with the scheme now. You came up with the idea, thought it would work. It didn't, and it fell flat for good reasons, because it's dumb. And if I did something like this, I'd feel really embarrassed by it. This is a man that studied business, and this is what he thought? Not even the funniest writers in Harvard would come up with shit like this, or any comedy writer. In conclusion, the lure Saga was essentially a failed attempt to lure in gullible whales. A man who knows nothing about fishing, playing a fishing simulator, and failed to catch his white whale. Thanks for taking your time out to watch this video. I enjoyed making this, and will hope to make more like this in the future. And hopefully, I'll see you next time.